Book of Demons is a homage and a love letter to the glorious and greatest hack and slash game ever made, which naturally is Diablo 1. Book of Demons was developed by Think Trunk and released on the 13th of December in 2018 with a price tag of $25 on Steam. I am a huge Diablo 1 fan, so naturally I am the target audience for this game. I spent half of my days playing on the Swedish Battle.net 1 server and had at that period one of Sweden's most famous guilds. This was back in the day when the only way to get online was through a dial-up modem and you were paying by the minute. I can tell you that my mother was not very happy about getting phone bills for $500 to $800 on a single month just because I was sitting in front of the computer and having the gaming time of my life. As I started up Book of Demons for my first playthrough, everything screams Diablo 1. The sound, the music, almost the looks, but in some sort of paper-esque design, and as the fan that I am, I immediately got engaged, hoping for a good time slaughtering monsters to cleanse the befouled sanctity of the church. Initially, my retro nostalgia made me quite positive towards the game for the first half hour or so, but that initial positivity slithered away after a couple of hours of gaming time, and it became a real drag to play Book of Demons because of weird design choices. For some odd reason, the developers thought that using magical cards instead of weapons, armors and items was a good design choice. At first I thought perhaps the card stuff would grow on me, but nah, I did not, and I found it annoying already more or less from the start. Every time you find a new card or have to identify a card, there's an unskippable animation wasting your damn life every time, and it just gets more and more annoying the more you play. And the game makes you walk on a set path. The game is on fucking rails, and at first I was like, okay. And while going on in late game, I started to absolutely hate it. I shit you not, it is so annoying being spammed by enemies and not being able to hone in on them and fucking slaughter them, or dodge most of their incoming missiles. You are more or less forced to stand there like some sort of mentally challenged hobo and just take it. The monsters, on the other hand, can move freely. That shit sucks. And the dungeons are procedurally generated as expected, but they all look the same and play the same, and in essence, they are the same. The voice acting is bad, and it would have been better without that shit, actually. Overall, there is no real complexity here, as the characters, the warrior, rogue, wizard play more or less the same, and as such there are no real builds in the game. The monsters you fight dictate what you need to equip and which skills you need to use. The loot is very uninteresting. Every single boss fight in the game are the same. The boss summons a bunch of minions that you slaughter, and then you have to wait for the boss immunity phase to end. Rinse and repeat. That's like all there is to it. Book of Demons is advertised like a roguelike deck builder and a dungeon crawler, but this is first and foremost a clicker game. The player cannot grind at will. The only way to play is to go further down the dungeons while clicking. If you get stunned, you have to click more, and if the enemy you meet have armor, well, you have to click several times to break that armor. And if one of them is about to cast a spell or a summon, you once again will have to click to interrupt their attempt. Click, 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 click! There were several times I felt like just quitting and never to touch this game again. But I pushed onwards, and the more I pushed, the more annoyed I became. Book of Demons took me several weeks to finish due to me not handling to play more than half an hour there and half an hour there, and I became angrier and angrier for every damn time I started up the game. I was very disappointed actually. There are some redeeming qualities to be found within Book of Demons, but I can in no way recommend it at all. There is no reason for the card stuff at all. I just find it stupid, to be honest, and the price is just outrageous. Releasing a shallow product worse than the original Diablo 1 over like 20 years after its release, hoping for $25? No thank you! The score ends up on 4 out of 10.